It's on record. So today, October 28th, I'm telling my students that you can redo any assignments that you have. I still take them. You can still improve your grade. It's not too late. Tomorrow you have a test. It's worth 30% of your grade, I believe. So turn in any work. Grades are due Friday. There's still time to make up stuff. If you do make up stuff, can you email me and go like, oh, Miss O'Malley, I did the due now for September 16th. Can you grade it? Or Miss O'Malley, I did the trapezoid worksheet. Can you grade it? Just make a list of things that you do, because sometimes when you turn things in, I don't see it and they get lost. So if you email me saying, Miss O'Malley, I did these 5 things, I'll be like, cool, I'm going to check those 5 things, right? Check your grades on Canvas. Those are the most up-to-date grades. All right, enough of talking, enough. All right, let's write this down. 10, 28, 20. Do I have to write this down? Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, so we are going to be talking about adding and subtracting integers again. We're just going to review how to add and subtract integers to help us prepare for next week's lesson that involves some negative numbers. And I don't want to like rush through it and then you make mistakes. So I just want to go back one step back, review before we head into the new stuff. All right. So who can tell me, who can remember, because it's on your test tomorrow, how do I add fractions? I'm not sorry. How do I add integers? What are the rules for adding integers? Who can find them in their notes and quickly tell me? What's the first step in adding integers?
To see if the signs are the same.
Yes. So what do you do if the signs are the same? What math are you going to do if the signs are the same?
You're going to add and keep the signs.
Love it. Let's write that down. So if we'll, abbreviate our notes. Signs are the same, add and keep sign. So this is like shorthand notes. If you want the more, detailed notes, they are found like in September something. So if they're the same, I'm going to add and keep. So if you have a highlighter, today would be a good day to highlight these words. Basically, if the signs are the same, you're going to add and keep. Very good. For example, if it's negative 12 plus negative 6, you see how the signs are the same? So you would add them. You get 18, and then you keep the sign. Because they're the same, you're going to keep that sign. All right, what's rule number 2? Who can tell me? Rule number 2.
If the signs are different, you subtract.
Yes. So I'm going to write signs are different, subtract, and then what? What's up with the sign?
Whichever number has more signs.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky, huh? How do I write that down? So how do I write that down? How would I say that? Do you have more positives or negatives? Question mark. So do you have more positives or negatives? So for example, if it's negative 12 plus 6, same numbers, right? Ish. So are the signs the same? No, I have a negative. This is a negative, and this is a positive. So when they're different, you're going to subtract. You get 6. Now, do you have more positives or negatives? I have 12 negatives, and I have 6 positives. So what do I have more of? Negative. So your answer is negative. Okay. So I subtracted, but did I change the symbol, the operation to subtraction? Did I rewrite this to subtraction? No, right? So we kind of we don't rewrite it to subtraction. We do subtract, Okay, we do subtract, but we don't rewrite it. Okay, we don't rewrite it. We don't rewrite it. All right. What about subtracting integers? Subtracting integers. What are the rules for subtracting integers? Who can find the rules for subtracting integers? What's the first part of the rule?
You you the sign and the last number, you turn them into the opposite.
Right, the operation. The operation, and then the last number to its opposite. Good. So basically, we're going to. Did I ever tell you about add the opposite? Did I ever say that? Not sure if I did. So what happens is you keep the first number. It's not hashtag, it stands for number in math. So subtracting integers, add the opposite and then keep the first number. And then change subtraction to addition. And then the second number to its opposite. Okay, so add the opposite. What does that mean? Keep the first number. You're going to change subtraction to addition. Remember, that makes me happy. And then the second number, you change it to its opposite, right? So if it's 5, you're going to change it to -5. If it's -10, the opposite would be +10. So the opposites. Now, and then the second part, you follow the addition rules. So once you add the opposite, once you change it to addition, you're going to go up here and do these rules. Okay? So once you change it, then you go back to these two rules on top. Okay? So you really are going to use a lot of this rule, these two rules. Okay? So let me write an example for this one. So I'm going to turn the page. Oh my God. Yeah, let me just write this problem down. Everybody leave like a little blank and write this problem down and then we'll flip it over. Okay, so if I have 2 minus 5, write this down. Even though you didn't finish the other notes, just leave a little space. Write this down. If I have 2 minus 5, I don't like it. So you're going to add the opposite. So you're going to keep the first number. I'm going to change subtraction to what? Addition. And then what's the opposite of 5? -5. And this makes me happy. And now we're in the addition rules. Now we go back and we ask ourselves, are they the same or are they different? Are they the same or are they different? They're different. So you're going to subtract. Yes, I know. We're going back to subtraction. I know. Math is hard. So you subtract and you get 3. And do you have more positives or do you have more negatives?
Negatives.
More negatives. Now, the reason we change this, you're like, why did I change it if we're going to end up subtracting, Miss Emily? Why do you make this harder? I make this harder because when you rewrite it, you realize that you have 5 negatives. And so your answer is going to be negative. If you don't rewrite it, you might not see that you have negatives in there. They're disguised. It's like Halloween, they're in disguise. So that's why when we rewrite it, today you're going to be taking a picture of the work you're going to do on your own, not these picture, not this, but stuff that you're going to do on your own. And this is what I'll be checking. So if you have a subtraction problem, I want to see how you rewrite it because this makes me happy. So when you have a subtraction problem, you're going to have to rewrite it, and that's what I'll be grading. All right, so for those of you who didn't finish, here are the notes. Okay, so there are 20 minutes left in class. And in the 20 minutes, you're going to be working in breakout rooms and you're going to be doing 14 problems. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes to do 14 problems.